What if the thing people laughed at became the reason they failed? In a small Texas auto yard, a struggling single dad was handed a dead engine. As a joke, they mocked him, thinking he'd never fix it, never rise, but what they didn't know was that he saw something no one else could see. 28 days, that's all it took to turn scrap into success, and silence every voice that doubted him. This is a story about patience, skill, and proving that quiet people often carry the loudest power. If you believe in hard work and second chances, make sure to share, and subscribe. And now let's get started. The late afternoon sun burned low over a dusty auto yard on the outskirts of Texas, where broken cars and discarded parts were piled. Like forgotten memories, Jake stood near the corner of the yard, his worn jacket smeared with grease, quietly fixing a dented radiator. He kept to himself, focused as always. Being a single dad had taught him discipline. Every minute mattered, every dollar counted. But to the other mechanics, he was just an easy target. A loud clatter broke the silence as two workers dragged over a heavy, rusted engine block and dropped it right in front of him. The impact echoed through the yard. Laughter followed. "Hey, Jake," one of them called out, smirking. "We found your next big project." Another added mockingly, "Yeah, thought you could use a miracle?" The engine looked completely dead. Corroded metal, cracked casing. Years of neglect written all over it. Jake didn't react the way they expected. No anger, no embarrassment. He simply crouched down, wiped his hands slowly on a rag, and examined the engine with calm. Steady eyes, his fingers traced along the edges, noticing wear patterns, missing bolts, subtle misalignments, while others saw useless scrap. His mind began piecing together possibilities. The laughter faded as his silence stretched longer than expected. One of the men shrugged. "Told you he's weird," he muttered before they walked away. But Jake stayed there, still studying the engine like it was speaking to him. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the yard, Jake made a quiet decision. He wasn't going to throw it away. He wasn't going to prove them wrong with words. Instead, he would let his work speak. Because sometimes, the things people discard are exactly what someone else needs to rise. 28 days later, the same street looked completely different. The once quiet corner across from the old auto yard was now alive with movement. Cars lined up along the curb, engines humming, customers talking, tools clanking with purpose. A newly painted sign hung above the garage entrance, simple but bold. Inside, Jake moved with calm precision. No longer the overlooked worker in the corner, but the man everyone had come to see. The engine they had laughed at now sat at the heart of his success. Rebuilt piece by piece, refined through long nights and relentless focus, it powered a custom machine that had quickly gained attention across the area. Mechanics, drivers, even local business owners had heard about it. They came curious and left impressed. Across the street, the old yard had grown unusually quiet. The same men who once mocked him now stood outside, watching in disbelief. Fewer cars pulled in, fewer voices filled the air. One of them crossed his arms, trying to hide the unease. "It's just luck," he muttered, though even he didn't sound convinced. Inside his shop, Jake wiped his hands and stepped back as another engine roared to life. Under his guidance, a customer grinned, clearly satisfied nearby. His daughter sat on a stool, swinging her legs, her eyes full of pride. She had seen every late night, every struggle, every moment. He refused to give up. Jake didn't look across the street. He didn't need to. He wasn't building this to prove anyone wrong. He was building a future steady, honest, and earned. The joke they once made had faded into silence. In its place stood something far louder, success born from patience, skill, and quiet determination.